Welcome to the TV15 High School Game of the Week. This week we're at Raider Field where they're celebrating 40 years of varsity football. Let's head down to the field where the Nettleton High School is honoring former players and past coaches.
To make those introductions tonight, I'd like to introduce Mr. Craig Miller. It's a great night for Raider football. We've got a lot of great former players and coaches here that we'd like to introduce to you. We'll begin, first of all, with the very first coach in the history of the Raider football program. How about a big hand for Smokey Don Yarbrough? Mr. Yarbrough coached the Raiders from 1965 to 1969. And anybody who played for him will tell you that he was known for his kind, compassionate ways. Also, one of the very first coaches in the history of the Raider football program, Phil Bridger. Mr. Bridger coached the team in 1965 and did a great job establishing the program. We've got players from several different decades here. We're going to begin in the 1960s with Maxie Stem. Maxie played for the Raiders in 1965 and 66. He was a tight end, and he also did the punting for the Raiders. Maxie Stem. Our next Raider football great, Dub Newell. Dub has the distinction of being the very first captain in Raider football history. He played in 1965 and 66. He played tackle. Dub Newell. Staying in the 1960s, our next Raider football player, Phil Carter. Believe it or not, Phil played linebacker at one time for the Raiders. He also played guard and played for Nettleton from 1965 to 1967. How about a hand for Phil Carter? Phil Carter also made the very first interception for a touchdown in Raider football history. Good job, Phil. Up next, John Pardue.
Yay, Mr. Pardue. Hey, look at that, Pardue.
John played halfback and linebacker on the 1966 and 67 squads. And he has the distinction of being the Nettleton Raider who scored the very first touchdown in program history. John Pardue. Up next, David Couch.
I mean, don't say, yeah, don't say, that's stupid, that's stupid.
David played for the Raiders in 66, 67, and 68.
Yeah, I've been all good.
He played fullback for Nettleton. Up next, Ralph Cheshire. Ralph played in 65, 66, 67, and 68, and he played quarterback for the Raiders. Ralph Cheshire. Up next, Jim Pyle. Jim played in 1966, 67, and 68. He played guard and linebacker. How about another big hand for Jim Pyle? Up next, George Steam. George played for the Raiders in 1968. He was number 42 on your scorecard and around number 25 in your heart. George Steam. Up next, James Clayton. James played for the Raiders in 1968, and he wore a big number 11 on his chest. James Clayton. Up next, Fred Hargett. Fred played at junior high in 65 and 66, senior high 67, 68, and 69. He played offensive tackle, defensive end, was also the punter and the kicker. And Fred kicked the very first field goal in Raider history. That was back in 1968. He graduated in 70. How about another big hand for Fred Hargett? Up next, Ron Gartman. Ron played for the Raiders in 66, 67, and 1968. He played end for the Raiders. Ron Gartman. From the class of 1968, Brent Watkins. Brent played for the Raiders in 68. He wore number 83. Brent Watkins. Danny Burrow. Danny was a senior in 1969, which was the first winning season in Nettleton Raider football history. They were 5-4 on the year. Danny played tailback and was named Jonesboro Suns Back of the Week of Northeast Arkansas. Danny Burrow. Up next, Mike Carter. Mike is from the world-famous Carter family. He played for Nettleton in 66, 67, 68, 69, 70. He failed 2 years. Mike Carter. Up next, Carl Chambers. Carl played for the Raiders in 68, 69, and 1970. He was a wide receiver and a defensive end, and he's still in good enough shape to jog onto the field. How about a hand for Carl Chambers? Up next, Alan Crawford. Alan played quarterback for the Raiders in 1969, 1970, and 1971. Alan Crawford. Up next, Rick Carter. Rick, the younger brother of Phil and Mike, played for the Raiders in 69, 70, and 1971. He was a linebacker, and he was a guard, and he was a good one, he told me. Rick Carter. From the class of 1972, Bobby Burrows. Bobby played for the Raiders in 72. He was a tailback, and he was a linebacker. How about another hand for Bobby Burrows? From the class of 73, Ted Rook. Ted played for Nettleton in 1970, 1971, and 1972. Another big round of applause for Ted Rook. Tim Gartman. Tim played quarterback for Nettleton in 1971, 72, and 73. Tim Gartman. Up next, Gene Bradley. Gene played football for the Raiders in 1972, 73, and 74. He was a quarterback, and he was a good one. Went on to play for Arkansas State University. In the National Football League, the Buffalo Bills. In the United States Football League, the New Jersey Generals. He also pitched in the Boston Red Sox organization. One of the all-time Nettleton Raider greats, Gene Bradley. Terry Ray. Terry played for the Raiders in 73, 74, and 75. 1975 was Nettleton's first ever undefeated team. They were 10-0, and they went to Desert for the state playoffs. Terry played tackle for the Raiders on that team. How about a big hand for Terry Ray? Up next, Coach Clark McDaniel. Coach Mack, as he is affectionately called, played for the Raiders in 73, 74, and 75. He was a fullback, and he was a bruising linebacker. Coach McDaniel has coached in the Nettleton school system from 1981 to 2000. Well, to right now. He was just recently named the 5A East Coach of the Year in tennis. How about a hand for Clark McDaniel? Up next, Dale Williams. Dale played for the Raiders in 1973, 74, and the undefeated team of 75. How about a big hand for Dale Williams? Up next, Robert Bedner. Robert played middle linebacker for Nettleton in 73, 74, and 75. Robert Bedner. Ron Harvey. Ron played for the Raiders in 72, 73, 74, and 75, where he played center and guard on the undefeated 75 team. Ron Harvey. Kim McDaniel. Kim played for Nettleton in 74, 75, and 76. He was a quarterback, and he was a safety on defense. Kim McDaniel. Up next, Doug Holmes. Doug played for Nettleton in 1974, 75, and 76. He played a big part on the offensive and defensive line and was a very good football player, according to his mother. Doug Holmes. Tim Burns. Tim was an offensive and a defensive tackle on the 75, 76, and 77 squads. Thank you for being here tonight, Tim. How about another hand for Tim Burns? Up next, Chuck McDaniel. Chuck, the older brother of Clark McDaniel, played in 75. I'm so sorry, Chuck. He's the younger brother of Clark McDaniel. He played in 75, 76, and 77. He was a wingback. He was a flanker. Chuck McDaniel. Bruce Taylor. Bruce played for the Raiders in 1977, 1978. He was a wide receiver, and he serves as a dentist in Jonesboro right now. How about a big hand for Bruce Taylor? Up next, Greg Slayton. Greg played for Nettleton in 76, 77, and 78. He was a center and a defensive guard. Greg Slayton. Now introducing Steve Pertee. Steve is the proud father of Laura and Nettleton Raider cheerleader Rachel Pertee. He played football for Nettleton in 76, 77, and 78. He was a fullback. Steve Pertee. Up next, Terry Morgan. Terry played for Nettleton in 1977, 78, and 79. And he played running back for the Raiders. Terry Morgan. We got one more Carter boy to introduce. This is Amy's favorite, John Carter. John played for Nettleton in 78, 79, and 1980. He played on the offensive line, and he also played defensive end. It's a good family to know. A lot of state troopers in that family. John Carter. Up next, David Trammell. David was number 20. He is the proud father of Raider cheerleader Alexa Trammell. He played in 1979, 1980, and 1981. He did everything but place kick for the Raiders. David Trammell. Up next, Mike Fletcher. Mike played in 1979, 1980, and 1981. He was a receiver and a defensive back. Mike Fletcher. Rusty Chambers. Rusty played in 1981 and 1982. He was a cornerback and a tight end. Rusty Chambers. Up next, Chris Puryear. Chris played football for the Raiders in 1982 and 1983. He was a linebacker and a guard. Chris Puryear. Wayne McKinney. Wayne played for Nettleton in 82, 83, and 84. He was a defensive back. Wayne McKinney. Up next, Dan Kirkwright. Dan played football for Nettleton from 1981 to 1985. He wore number 55. We're glad you're here tonight, Dan. Dan Kirkwright. Up next, Mark Walton. Mark played fullback and linebacker for Nettleton from 1983 to 1985. How about a big hand for Mark Walton? He came all the way from Georgia to be here tonight. Thank you for coming, Mark. Great to see you again. Sharing the backfield with Walton on a very good 1985 Raider team, Greg Pickle. Greg played for Nettleton in 83, 84, and 85. And he was a tailback in Daryl Dover's I formation. Greg Pickle. Herbie Mays. Herbie played football in 83, 84, and 85. He was a tailback and a cornerback. There he comes. How about a hand for Herbie Mays? Also from a very good class of 86, Kent Bridger. Kent played for Nettleton in 83, 84, and 85. He was a guard. He was a defensive end. He's a proud son of Raider coaching great Phil Bridger. How about a big hand for Kent Bridger? Brett Huggins. Brett played for Nettleton in 1980, 81, and 82. He was a running back. How about a big hand for Brett Huggins? Up next, Richie Carville. Richie played receiver for Nettleton in 1983, 84, and 85. Richie Carville. Barry Barkley. Barry was a linebacker and an offensive lineman in 83, 84, and the playoff team of 1985. Barry Barkley. Also on that 1985 team, Barry Clayton. Barry was an offensive guard and a defensive tackle. Barry Clayton. The quarterback in 83, 84, and 85 was Jukin Jeff Puryear. Jeff played quarterback. He also played linebacker. He's an attorney today, and a good one. Jeff Puryear. Tony Skidmore. Tony played for the Raiders in the mid-80s, graduated in 85. He was a fullback, he was a linebacker, and he was a ladies' man. Tony Skidmore. All the way from Germany, Andy Gleeman. Andy was a kicker for the team in 1985. He's in the class of 1986. How about a big American welcome for Andy Gleeman? From the class of 85, Wayne Steele. Wayne played strong safety for the Raiders. Wayne Steele. From the great class of 1989, Raider tailback Dale Lipford. Dale played for Nettleton in 87, in 88, and in 89. The Raiders were undefeated in 88, and, in 87. Dale played on some very good football teams. Excellent tailback. All-state, Dale Lipford. Also from the class of '89, Jared Harvey. Jared played in '86, '87, and '88. He was a lineman, a defensive end, and a guard, and a tough guy. Jared Harvey. Sean Williams. Sean played for Nettleton in '86, '87, and '88. He was a defensive end and an offensive guard. Sean Williams. Up next, Lance James. Lance played for the Raiders in '87, '88, and '89. He played offensive line and defensive line. Lance James. Chad Purrier. Chad played for Nettleton in '89, '90, and '91. He was a tight end and the youngest brother of Jeff and Chris Purrier. Chad Purrier. Sid Pickle. Sid played for Nettleton in '89, '90, and '91. He is the younger brother of Greg Pickle. How about a hand for Sid Pickle? Up next, Kenny Kelly. Kenny played in '90, '91, and '92. He was a wide receiver and a cornerback. Kenny Kelly. Andy Shatley. Andy played quarterback for Nettleton in '91, '92, and '93. He graduated in '94, went on to play football at Arkansas State and baseball in the Toronto Blue Jays organization. One of the greatest athletes to ever come through Nettleton, Andy Shatley. Judd Finley. Judd played for the Raiders in the early '90s, graduated in '93. He was a tight end and a linebacker on some very good Raider teams. Judd Finley. Up next, Preston Ergel. Preston played for the Raiders in 1992, '93, and '94. He was a tailback, a defensive cornerback, was named All-Conference. Number 24, Preston Ergel. Jason Marshall. Jason played for Nettleton in 1992, '93, and '94. He was All-Conference, best under the sun, and an All-State linebacker and running back. Jason Marshall. Wes Ferguson. Wes played in '93 and '94. He was a flanker. He was also named All-Conference. Wes Ferguson. Mark D. Spain. Mark played in '92, '93, and '94. He was a receiver, a linebacker, a punt returner, and a kickoff returner. He was named Best Under the Sun, Best Offensive Player, All-Conference, and received the Wayne Gordon Award. Mark Despain. Steve Allen. Steve played for Nettleton in '94 and '95. He was a defensive tackle and end and an offensive guard. Steve Allen. Don Hossman. Don played in '93, '94, and '95. Don Hossman. Don's twin brother, Dan Hossman. Dan also played for the Raiders in '93, '94, and '95. These guys were a true double threat. How about a hand for Dan Hossman? Robert Eder. Robert played for the Raiders in 1995. Robert Eder. Up next, John Irwin. John played for Nettleton in '92, 92, 93, 94, and 95, John Irwin. Up next, Roger McMillan. Roger played in 93, 94, and 95, and he was one of the greatest quarterbacks in Nettleton Raider history. Roger McMillan. Mark Shavers. Mark played for Nettleton in 1996. Mark Shavers. Joe James. Joe played for the Raiders in 96, 97, 98. He played quarterback and safety. Went on to pitch college baseball. Joe James. Doug McDaniel. Number 72 on your scorecards. He played in 97, 98, and 99 on the offensive and defensive line. Bart McDaniel's son, Doug McDaniel. Quentin Stroman. Quentin played for the Raiders in 97, 98, and 99. Played tailback and fullback. Also played defensive bandit / rover. Number 34, Quentin Stroman. John Carville. John played for Nettleton in 97, 98, and 99. He was an offensive and defensive tackle. John Carville. Blake Tennyson. Blake played for Nettleton in 96, 97, 98. He was a wide receiver, free safety, named Best Under the Sun and All-State. Currently assistant coach with the Raiders, Blake Tennyson. Up next, Luke Maddox. Luke, the former single-season rushing record holder for Nettleton. He played in 96, 97, and 98. He was a tailback, a linebacker, a very good football player, Luke Maddox. Up next, Adam Stone. Adam played in 96, 97, and 98. He was a tight end and a defensive end and a member of the fearsome foursome, Adam Stone. Chris McDaniel from the class of 01. Chris was a defensive back and a receiver for the Raiders. Chris McDaniel. Josh Rook. Josh played in 2001, 2002, and 2003. He was a tight end and a middle linebacker. Josh Rook. Up next, Adam Chrysler. Adam played in 2000, 2001, 2002. He was a wide receiver, and he still helps out the Raider football program by working the scoreboard. How about a big hand for Adam Chrysler? Tyler McLaughlin. Tyler played in 2000, 2001, and 2002. He was a safety, and he was a receiver. Tyler McLaughlin. Ross Taylor. Ross played guard and nose guard on the 2000, 2001, and 2002 teams. Number 73, Big Ross Taylor. Tanner Parrish. Tanner is from the class of 04. He played tight end and defensive end for the Raiders. Number 85, Tanner Parrish. Matt McQuaid. Matt played in 02, 03, and 04. He was a tight end and a defensive end. Number 88, Matt McQuaid. Clint Burrow. Clint played for the Raiders in 02, 03, and 04. He anchored the offensive line at center. How about a big hand for Clint Burrow? Jimmy Bryant. Jimmy played for the Raiders in 2001, 02, 03, and 04. He was a guard and a tackle. Number 76, Jimmy Bryant. And our final player tonight, Butch Sadler. Butch played in 03, 04, and 05. He was an offensive tackle, a defensive end. I'd also like to recognize a man who's here tonight, the winningest coach in the history of the program, Daryl Dover. At this time, we would like to present a few game balls to some special people. First of all, the Nettleton's first head coach, Smokey Don Yarbrough. Thank you, Mr. Yarbrough. We appreciate you. How about a hammer, Don Yarbrough? First assistant coach, Phil Bridger. Mr. Bridger, thank you for being a part of the actions tonight. We're certainly glad that you're here. Phil Bridger. At this time, if Derek Lawson and Luke Maddox will report to the field. Let's give one more big hand to all of our Raider greats. Thanks, guys, for being here tonight. We have a special presentation to make tonight. A little bit of history was made last week at Greene County Tech High School. Derek Lawson shattered the single-season rushing record that was held by Luke Maddox back in 1997. Maddox rushed for over 1,500 yards. Derek Lawson has currently rushed for over 1,700 yards. Luke Maddox is here to pass the ball over to Derek Lawson. It's a great achievement, Derek. Luke, thank you for being here. Congratulations, Derek. Let's give these guys a big hand. If you would now please stand for the playing of the national anthem.
This is the TV15 High School Game of the Week. The High School Game of the Week is brought to you by the following sponsors.
Welcome to the TV15 High School Game of the Week. Hatton Weeks along with Steve Clayton. This week we're out at Raider Field as Nettleton hosts North Pulaski, the Falcons. The Raiders, Derek Lawson needs 226 yards to get to the 2,000 yards rushing for the season. And Steve, 7 games in, that is quite a feat for any player on any level.
Well, it is, and especially how the offensive set that Nettleton runs. An incredible performance as you come into tonight. You know, they run the spread offense. He's a single back in it. 17 yards in 7 games. Just a phenomenal performance so far, not only by him, but a tribute to the offensive line.
An incredible performance so far this season. As you take a look at the field, you're wondering why the big crowd out on the field. Well, as you've been watching over the past few minutes, that is, those are some former players and coaches here celebrating 40 years of varsity football here at Nettleton High School as we get set to play here. Nettleton comes into this game 4-3 on the season and 3-1 in conference. And meanwhile, North Pulaski comes in. They are 0-7 and 0-4 on the year. In fact, they are on a 26-game losing streak. Steve, and if you take a look at this game on paper, it is a statistical blowout, meaning that the Raiders average 39 points a game. The Falcons average 12. This game, unless something different happens, could get ugly.
Well, if Nelson does have a question mark, it is their defense. North Pulaski is going to have an opportunity to put some points on the board. But like you said, if all holds true to form, Nelson ought to be a blowout. But if they knew who was going to win the game, why would you play it?
That's exactly right. You got to play the game. And here come the Nettleton Raiders out on the field tonight. And the starting lineups for the Nettleton Raiders: at flanker is Matt Akers. At left tackle, Chris Dreyer. Left guard is Chris Ishmael. The center is Kelsey Cooper. The right guard is Justin Carter. Right tackle, Cody Jones. Split end, Caleb Gregg. The tight end is Hunter Phillips. Fullback, Derek Lawson. Tailback, Matt Johnson. And the quarterback for the Raiders is Nick Shaft. And North Pulaski is part of the Jacksonville School District in the northern part of Pulaski County, up north of the Jacksonville or Little Rock Air Force Base. They're up in the northern part of Pulaski County, as we're just about set for football here. As we take a look back, you know, as you mentioned, anything can happen on any given Friday night. The North Pulaski Falcons have a running back that's coming into the ballgame that's been injured. He's had some looks from some Division 1A programs, and he is coming into the game tonight after an absence of the past few games. Isn't that right?
Yeah, Charles Baker will be lining up at the fullback spot, I think. I know I was visiting with Tony Bohannon before the game. He is the coach of North Pulaski. Baker's being looked at by Tulsa among some other smaller schools in the area, but definitely has some big play potential. North Pulaski does have some athletes. They just have not been able to put things together. Like you mentioned, for 26 games, quite a losing streak that they bring here to Raider Field.
Since the 2004 season, they went 1-10 that year, and anything can happen. And they want tonight to end their streak tonight here at Raider Field. But Nettleton, hopefully, if all holds true, hopefully for the Raider fans, they will come out victorious tonight. We'll know here at the end of this one as we get set for football. And I believe Nettleton won the toss and deferred to the second half. So Nettleton won the. That's right. Nettleton won the toss and they elected to receive.
And Jeffrey Bogart doing the kicking for North Pulaski. Quite a leg by Mr. Bogart.
Boy, he does. Fielded at the 10-yard line. And the handoff. And a little trickery there and a wide open. Down to the 50 and inside North Pulaski territory to start things off all the way down to the 45 is Matt Akers.
Matt Akers showing a tremendous amount of athleticism. Donnie Tenson, they've done that numerous times this year on the kickoff return, having a double handoff or fake a double handoff. Whatever the case may be. This time in particular, it is double handoff. Akers gets in the open field. Great starting position here tonight for the Raiders.
Down all the way to the 43, and it looks like Coach Tennyson wanting to set up a little offensive supremacy here early in going in this football game by getting some good field position. The trick play there, not sure. A bad snap here, and Nick Schaff is going to have to fall on this back at his own 40-yard line, so a big loss on first down, and it's going to back them all the way back up to the Nettleton 41-yard line, and a big offensive play mistake here to start things off for the Raiders.
Well, it really is, and it's the first time all year that's occurred, but a horrendous snap that time. Shaft simply could just fall down on the ball after a loss of 20-plus yards. So Nelson definitely facing what initially was great field position. Now they're backed up in their own territory, second and a country mile.
They're calling it on the scoreboard 26. Here's the handoff to Derek Lawson. He's got quite a bit of room and quite a bit of speed. Makes up all the way to get the first down and more. And finally brought down by North Pulaski and brought down by Sean Race there on the tackle. And a great run by Derek Lawson on second down and 26 to get the first down all the way to the Falcon 23-yard line.
Well, Lawson running, as you see on the replay, gets on the left sideline in the open field. A big pickup, a big first down for Nettleton here on their initial drive of tonight's contest.
Derek Lawson again the give. He's got lots of room. Couple of cuts, and he's going to make it still on his feet down to the 1 yard line. It'll bring up first down and goal, and another big run there by Derek Lawson. There is a flag down back at the 25-yard line. It's holding against the Raiders, and this one's coming back.
What you see on the replay, Lawson again doing a good job getting in the open field. Great block down there by Hunter Phillips, number 33, from his wide receiver position. But it's all nullified by a holding call. It's going to back the ball up to the North Pulaski 35-yard line and bring up another second, or it'll be first down. But instead of first and 10, you're going to have first and about 22 yards.
Back them all the way up to the 35-yard line here, and although they don't look like it on the 3 plays that they have, if you include the kickoff, the penalties really haven't bothered the Nettleton offense against this North Pulaski defense. Here's the handoff yet again to Derek Lawson. Lots of running room and upended at the 25, going to make it down to about the 22-yard line, about the original line of scrimmage, so it'll bring up second down now and about 10.
Offensive line right now for Nettleton, especially the right side on that last play, just dominating the defensive line for North Pulaski, doing a great job of getting Derek Lawson in the open field, and he's finishing off so far.
As you can see, the ball spotted at the 22-yard line. It'll bring up second down and 9 for the Nettleton Raiders here. And another handoff to Lawson. He's going to break several tackles, stay on his feet all the way down to the 10-yard line, and going to be very close to a first down.
He got the first down. It'll be first and goal to goal just inside the 10-yard line. Lawson doing a great job, well on his way to another outstanding performance tonight.
As you can see on the replay, just manhandles several, really just outruns several North Pulaski defenders.
Well, once again, the right side of the line there doing a great job for the Raiders.
So as Steve mentioned, it's first and goal from the 9-yard line. 3 wideouts. Lawson, again the handoff. Breaks loose from several tackles and makes it all the way down to about the 6-yard line. It'll bring up second down from there.
Well, Lawson running the football very hard on this opening drive. Like I said, just manhandling the North Pulaski defense is Lawson, and his offensive line did a great job also.
Early going in this one, 9 minutes left to go here in the first quarter. From Raider Field, it's a Nettleton and North Pulaski TV 15's Game of the Week, and Nettleton threatening early here. And again to Lawson. Cuts back, and he is going to be dropped for a loss of about 1 on the play. So it'll set up third down now and about 7 yards.
A big third down here for Nettleton. I look for them to go for it if they don't make this third down. They go for it on fourth down, but Nettleton's got to establish dominance early. They've shot themselves in the foot, and besides that, in the last play, they have dominated North Pulaski, but it's very important to come away with points.
So they're going to spot it at about the 7. Nick Schaff from the gun, and I believe he's going to run a nice block there by Derek Lawson. He's into the end zone for a Nettleton touchdown.
Well, Nick Schaff, another weapon that Nettleton possesses as far as offensively. Gets on the corner with a run-pass option. As you can see, he sees nothing but green grass in front of him. Matt Johnson does a good block right there to finish off the North Pulaski Falcon defense, and Schaff simply finds the corner of the end zone. Early lead here for tonight for the Raiders.
So Johnson with a good block, and now he will come on for the extra point, and it is up, and I believe it's good. So we have a 7-0 Nettleton lead here. 8 minutes left to go in this one in the first quarter. We're back after this.
There's a new Buick dealer in town, Central Buick Pontiac GMC. Come celebrate with us and get great deals on your favorite Buicks. Right now, we're offering 0% 60-month financing on the 06 Lucerne. Get a $3,500 rebate on the popular Rendezvous and Rainier. And see us for your next oil change, only $18.95. Buick is here. Central Buick Pontiac GMC.
Welcome back. 7-0 Nettleton here in the first quarter over North Pulaski. Today's game brought to you by Liberty Bank. One of our loyal supporters, Ed Way, and the staff at Liberty Bank are ready to serve you with all of your banking needs. Liberty Bank, where 7-to-7 banking and same-day posting make it easy to bank at Liberty Bank.
Matt Johnson doing the kicking for the Raiders. Kind of a pooch kick, goes to the 30-yard line.
And a nice tackle there by Matt Akers, where he is immediately brought down at the 26-yard line, where the North Pulaski offense will set up on 1st down and 10.
Well, I mentioned Nelson established dominance offensively early. Big key for them tonight, not only tonight, but throughout their conference record and into the playoffs, is their defense. As they've given up 37 points a game, a great time right now for Nelson to establish themselves defensively.
Hear the Nettleton band in the background, and a nice on-field tackle there. The ball carrier, I'm not sure who had the ball. I believe it was Jordan Anderson, the tailback.
Jordan Anderson on the carry. TJ Long making the stop for a loss for Nettleton. So a great defensive play initially here tonight for Nettleton.
It's going to bring up 2nd down and about 12 back at the 24-yard line for North Pulaski. Down 7-0 first quarter, and a nice run, but immediately brought down back at the original line of scrimmage. There's Charles Baker, the fullback, and
Number 20, Charles Baker.
it's going to bring up 3rd down and 10 now, and very quickly, a very quick 3rd down and 10.
Well, Coach Bohannon of North Pulaski told me before the game that Baker was playing for the first time after coming back for an injury, but he's about at 75%. So he will be giving a great effort, I'm sure, but he is still kind of hobbled with a knee injury.
Looking at passing on, and it's to the far side and incomplete. And that's going to bring up 4th down for North Pulaski, and so 3 and out for the Falcons on their first offensive possession here of the night in the first quarter. It is 7-0 Nettleton from Raider Field. Hatton Weeks and Steve Clayton with you for TV 15's Game of the Week.
Nettleton doing a good job defensively. This time offensively, they need to keep it up, but they need to eliminate the errors that they had on their first initial drive.
Melvin Tenner, his punt fielded at about the 45-yard line by Aaron Prim, and a gain of a return of about 2 or 3 yards. So the Raiders will set up shop at the just at the Raider side of midfield here with 6:43 left to go.
Another great opportunity for the Raiders as they're starting out with tremendous field position on their second drive. Look for Derek Clausen to get the bulk of the load again for the Raiders.
Pass this time to Matt Johnson. He's got some green out in front of him down the near side and makes it all the way inside the Falcon 35-yard line, a gain of about 17 and a 1st down on 1st down and 10, and so move the chains for the Raiders down to about the 32-yard line.
Well, like I said, Nelton's offense pretty much moving the football at will. Just very important to Donnie Tennyson and his staff that they eliminate the errors that they kind of shot themselves in the foot, but were able to overcome on their first drive.
So again, Schaff from the gun. That's Lawson next to him there to his right, and Matt Johnson are 4 wideouts now, and Lawson the give again. Looks like they were spreading the field a little bit. He breaks several tackles. He's going to make it into the end zone, and Derek Lawson has another Nettleton touchdown.
32 yards right up the gut. A great job by Lawson, but a tremendous job of opening up daylight by the left side of the Nettleton offensive line.
So here with 6 minutes and 6 seconds left to go in the first quarter, as you see on the replay there, it is 13-0 Nettleton.
Well, Lawson, like I said, running the football almost at will. You know, I mentioned 2 or 3 times the offensive line, and you hate to group them up and just say offensive line. So during this break, let me go through it real fast. That's Chris Dreyer and Chris Ishmael on the left side doing a great job on that last play. Kelsey Cooperman's the center position. Justin Gardner plays right guard. Cody Jones plays right tackle. Once again, all 5 of those gentlemen doing a great job, especially tonight, but doing a good job of getting Lawson in the open field for 1,800 yards, so far in this season.
14-0 Nettleton. Today's game brought to you by the Malco Cinema 13 and the Hollywood 12 Theaters. The Malco, nationally recognized for its innovative techniques with special attention given to sight, sound, and patron comfort. New manager Terry Peterson invites you to bring the family to the Malco Cinema 13 on Highland Drive or the Hollywood 12 Theaters over on Parker Road.
When you've watched one of our broadcasts in Nettleton before, I've said this, but I got to say it again. Hats off to Derek Lawson. He's a self-made young man in the weight room. He's not a bad athlete, but Lawson, pretty much from his weight room work and off-season work, like I said, he's over 1,800 yards so far, about halfway through the football season. Tremendous production, and he is, once again, one of the hardest working high school kids I've ever had the privilege of bringing around.
I hope he gets an opportunity to play at the next level. A nice return there on a pooch kick up to about the 44-yard line, where North Pulaski will take over on their own 44. So some nice field position for the Falcons here midway through the first quarter. And as we mentioned, the Raiders come into this game 4-3 on this season. North Pulaski comes in 0-7. And they're down 14-0 here and hoping to get a little offense moving. Went 3 and out on their first possession, and they're not moving much here with Jordan Anderson being given a hard 3 yards right there on 1st and 10. It'll be get up to about the 46-yard line. So it'll bring up 2nd down and 7 for the Falcons offense here on their second offensive possession in this ball game.
North Pulaski bases out of the Pro I, but they do have the ability to go full wide shotgun. They have shown quite a few offensive looks in this football season.
Here's the give. It's again to Jordan Anderson, and he's going to get about 3 or 4 more, and it's going to bring up about 2 or 3 on 3rd down, and a pretty crucial play for the North Pulaski offense here.
Anderson run the football hard from his tailback position. He's fighting off a lot of tacklers. He almost lost the football in that last play, but a big 3rd down play here for the Falcons of North Pulaski.
Here come the Falcons from about midfield on 3rd down and 2. Little movement on the line, no flags, and a run up the middle. He's going to be about a half a yard short.
I don't know, the line judge on the other side giving him a healthy spot. It's going to be a lot closer than I thought, but I think he's still going to be a little bit short.
You go for it right here, or you kick it?
I go for it. What do you have to lose?
Certainly. And they're going to bring the chains out to the field and measure this one. I'm going to say he's going to have it by about a nose. No, he doesn't have it by a nose. I was wrong.
He missed it by about a nose. This is a lot closer than I thought. Like I said, the line judge at the top of your screen gave him a real generous spot, in my opinion, but it's still a little bit short. 4th down, and it appears North Pulaski will go for it on 4th down.
4:22 left to go opening quarter. 14-0 Nettleton over North Pulaski. North Pulaski, as you see there on your screen, they are in the white jerseys. Nettleton in the home black and gold. And a big 4th down. It's a quarterback keeper, and he's gonna elude several tacklers and take a big hit. That time by Justin Carter to sack him in the backfield, and Nettleton will take over on downs.
Stanley Appleton from his quarterback positions, not a very big young man. He's 5'5", 140. He's got some lateral quickness, but that time Justin Carter said,
"Swallowed
the heck
him
with your lateral quickness. Here I come." A big hit, turns the ball over on downs. Nettleton for the 3rd time tonight getting the ball with excellent starting field position.
Appleby at 5'5" and 140, eaten alive by Carter, who is 6'1" and 274. And so here's the give to Derek Lawson. He's going to break through several tackles, and he has lots of running room, has one man to beat, and he's going to carry him all the way down to the 10-yard line, where he is pushed out of bounds